Hey, you found me, and this is Shrummy Talks. In our first two vlogs, I asked you the question, why are you here? And I hope that you've been journaling some of the possibilities you've been exploring for your purpose in life. We're going to start today a three-part series, and a couple of the questions might be something like, who do you think you are? Who do you think other people think you are? And what is it that you want to build your life around? So I want to jump right in. I was driving through this neighborhood for the last couple of months, and I've been watching how it's been constructed one house at a time. But even before each house, they had to first pull out all the old roots that might be underground and any of the various size rocks that would keep that house site from being level. Once they've leveled it and packed it down tightly, then they can actually pour the concrete that's going to serve as the firm foundation for the house. That's assuming that they did all the preparations right. Otherwise, the house could crumble if it's not built on a firm foundation. Well, then you can put the rest of the house together, the walls and the doors and the windows, and then, eventually the roof. But none of this could happen without an architect who planned the whole thing when he drew up the blueprints. The blueprints are kind of like a recipe that have to be followed. When the construction workers follow the blueprints, then they end up with a pretty decent building. So, who is the architect in your life? Are you the architect? Are you purposefully building a great life for yourself? Let's take it down into chunks. I propose you use this summer to prepare, to plan your next school year. Reflect on things that didn't go well, reflect on things that went well and you want to continue. And let's pull out the roots. Let's remove the things in our lives that keep us from being well, steady, and firm for us to then build the rest of our lives on. So what are some of the things that you have to uproot and remove from your foundation? Would those be things like bad attitudes, bad habits, like not getting enough sleep, water, or quite possibly bad friend choices? If you've been making bad friend choices, what better time than this summer to start figuring out what kind of friends you do want to have? It is your life. You are building your life, so you get to determine the different building materials that you want to use. Are you going to use truth and honesty? Or is that going to be a couple of your building supplies? Do you want to have a life that others can trust and rely on? Do you want to be able to rely on your own foundation? What is your foundation? Usually foundations are passed down from families, many generations, and these are basically the do's and don'ts of life. Things that you will not allow anything to break up. These are things that you will not cave on. If you have a firm foundation, then the winds and the gossiping friends and the waters, the rain, these things will not wash away at who you are at the basic level. So as you build, think about the building materials you're making your house out of. Truth and honesty, morals, character, again, good habits, and great attitudes, even when it's not a great time to have a great attitude. These are all things that go into building a life. And the roof is kind of sort of like, where are you going? What is the direction of your life? And then you could get a little bit larger and think, well, what neighborhood, who do I want surrounding me? Does my house fit here? Is this really where I want to live in this place? So I hope that this has given you some things to think about, some things to write down in your journal. And I guess the question I'm going to end with is, are you the architect of your life? Or is somebody else building you in ways that aren't going to stand the test of time? Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. See you next week.